Yo, guys, P1 in the building. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, or welcome to WCW Lives TEW 2020. As this is the first real episode of the series. If you saw episode 0, that really wasn't the official episode because we really didn't book our first shows. We were just setting things up. We signed some talent. We signed Psychosis, Devin Storm, RVD, in case last episode. But now we're actually going to get into it. We're going to be booking our first show, and I made a few changes off screen, so I'm gonna just talk about them. The biggest change I think I made was production. Production, I rolled it back because I know production values was at Majestic. I do not want to really dish out that money right now because I've already kind of drained a little bit of money from contracts. So I figured we can roll this back a little bit and we will be okay. I also have decided to drop the music down. I dropped that down to minor license, and I dropped broadcast dowdy down a little bit. Now, this is not going to be beneficial for us, I think, in the long run, but I think it will be helpful for us to at least for now, so we are not draining as much money because we've already spent like 700. We spent a little bit over 700,000 dealing with contracts and other things alone, dealing with worker costs alone. So, let's see it. I don't want to lose all the money that we can gain. So I just want to roll that back a little bit so we can spend a little bit less for shows. I checked the news. There's nothing really exciting going on. I'll probably, and during the series, I probably will sign more talent. If you guys have any talent that you think will be a good addition, let me know in the comments down below if you're watching. If you're watching this far, but yeah, let's head into our first show. Let's head in. So in case you don't know, we're booking the Big Bang. This was Bishop's big idea to relaunch WCW. After this month-long hiatus. And oh my God, we have a lot of incidents backstage. So first off, we have Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash got defeated. Argument out fan and started to make things physical. We'll give him a fine. Yeah. Arn Anderson's please about that cash. Selfish behavior. Yeah, slap on the wrist. Don't do it again. Alan Funk and Steiner. Fight broke out. I think I'm gonna give it a fine. I think a fine is gonna be good for that. Johnny Ace. Self behavior. Slap on the wrist. Disco. Slap on the wrist. And RVD and Ric Flair. Okay, we have wrestlers court for once. Okay. Now we need to set our broadcasters. We only have in demand. So I'm going to save that. And I'm going to be right back. And let me see, before we head right back, I'm going to take a look. And alright, so the show's meant to be 150 minutes long. You're allowed to run 25% over 20% for on TV. So between 112 and 188. Let me take a look at the product. It is Crash TV. Okay. I feel like I might change this heading down the road. But I'm going to keep it for now, and we're going to see how we do with it. We're going to see how we do with it. But I'm going to be right back, and we're going to head into our first show. Alright, we are back and we're about to get started with our first set of shows. Let's head into it. So we open it off with Bischoff welcoming fans to the new WCW. Says the big days of the Hogan Goldberg era are long and gone. That even TNT doesn't have their backs anymore, and that Bischoff is gonna basically create the new way to the company and give it new success that it's never had before, building up new stars and starting off essentially almost all over again. So we open up with our first matchup of Billy Kidman picking up a victory over Elix Skipper. And Skipper had a 28. Kidman had a 47. Match got a 43. And Skipper and Kidman don't seem to click. And, oh, that's not good. Next, Borash gives Canyon an interview backstage. Next, Jeff Jarrett comes out stirring and says that Dustin doesn't measure up to him, and Dustin comes out, and the two brawl into our next match, which is Dustin Rhodes and Jeff Jarrett, with Jeff Jarrett picking up a victory over Dustin Rhodes, with Jarrett having a 63 and Dustin 57 match getting a 64. That's good. And that it got a little, and it heated the crowd. Apparently, the match went a little too long given our product. That's gonna be a big knock. That's gonna be a big knock. And then afterwards, here we go. And then afterwards, to really cement the fact that Jared is better than Dustin, he comes out and smashes the guitar over on Dustin Rhodes to really kind of cement that and really get that in. That Jarrett is really out for Dustin. Next, we have Team Canada. We have a Team Canada promo backstage with Lance Storm and Mike Oxen pretty much joking about the American fans backstage before they prep up for their big tag title matchup, which they will face off against Plumbo and O'Hare with Team Canada picking up the WCW tag team titles. Next, Helms comes out and he's ready to be a fighting champion for WCW. He's offering an open challenge to anyone in the back. Chavo accepts with a slap to the face. And the two get right into their matchup, with Shane Helms picking up his first defense of the WCW Cruiserweight title. Then afterwards, Gene Okerlund gives an interview to Scott Steiner. About this big main event. Steiner is very focused on losing on picking up the fact that he lost to Booker T back on the final Nitro on TNT, and Steiner is very eager to regain that belt that he had lost. And it's very important that he beat Sting and in the number one contenders match to regain control of the belt. And RVD. Alright, so then backstage we start off with Rey Mysterio Jr. We've seen Rey Mysterio Jr. being attacked backstage. The camera pans a little bit to find out, because the person's still on it, and we find out to be our Rob Van Dam. We had Rob Van Dam make his debut. We turned RVD heel. That's something that I didn't really talk about much. We turned RVD heel. Want to see how he does as a heel. We don't really get to see much of RVD. He's much more of a face, but I think he can be a good heel for us and help out with this division. So I think going heel in this route will be a very smart idea. And Rey Mysterio Jr. picks up a victory already, and RVD got injured with a twisted knee. Oh, that's not good. We injured RVD on his first night. Oh man. But then we continue backstage with Sting cutting a promo saying that he's ready to regain the world title and he's ready to do it any means necessary because it's been a while since Sting really had the WCW championship, and Sting really does want to be at the top of the company and carry the company forward. Which should lead us into our main event with Scott Steiner picking up the victory over Sting. With Steiner a 79, Sting a 79. Both of them a 79. Match got an 80. The match went a little too long, which kind of sucks. That's the one thing with this product is that match lengths really can go, like 20-minute matches are not the best idea. And then afterwards, here we go. And then afterwards, Steiner eyes Booker T with the belt. As Booker sitting on the railway, Steiner gives him the eye with the belt, saying that he wants that belt. As the camera fades to black, this show gave us a 70. I'm very fine with that. I think that's fine for our first show, the Big Bang, to really kind of help reset WCW. We would have gained popularity in 10 record, but due to a limited number of viewers there, that sucks. That sucks. But I can give post show speeches. Steiner. I'll give Steiner a post show speech. Give one to Jarrett as well. And I'll give one to Helms. Compliment, because they did good. Because they really did good with their performances. Okay. As we advance the next day. Alright, so here we go for the first Nitro. Bischoff opens show, cuts a similar promo that he did at Big Bang. You know, he talks about the success of Big Bang. He talks about the success of Big Bang, and he really starts to really double down on his plan to really to really help give revival and resurgence to WCW. And we open up with Team Canada picking a victory over the Young Dragons. Yang with 36, Kasiyashi with 42, Storm 52, and Awesome 54. Match got a 43. But the low locker room morale is really it's really such an issue. Something that I'm going to do our best to fix. Flair cuts a promo, entertaining the crowd, talking about how he's really ready. You know, he's saying the new W study. He is excited for the past years to come up. He's excited, and maybe he's gonna get that 17th World Championship that he's desperately been looking for. Out comes DDP, and DDP challenges Flair to a matchup, but he gets attacked by, but Jarrett will start to attack DDP, but Dustin comes out to make the save, setting up a tag team match later in the evening. So then we have Canyon picking up a victory over Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam 54, Conan 50. Matchup got a 45. This match didn't have a storyline to it. We're doing it, because the show requires us to do some hardcore matches. So we got to put in one or two now every now and then during the show. So we put one in. Backstage, we see a backstage brawl between Chavo Guerrero and Shane Helms. Then Kidman picks up a victory over Disco Inferno. Elix Skipper made the run in and started to attack. Backstage, Nash gets interviewed with Gene Arkle, and Nash really doesn't make too much plans talking about the new WCW, but he's going to wait for the right moment to strike, and when he does, he will win. It will re-cement himself. Which leads us to a matchup with Canyon and Rey Mysterio, with Canyon picking up the victory due to interference by Skipper and Ray Jr. Then Steiner goes on and boasts about his victory over Sting, and does his infamous Steiner math, saying that Booker T has so many chances of winning. Booker T doesn't even have a chance of winning. Which leads us into our main event with DDP and Dustin Rhodes picking up the victory over Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett, with DDP getting the pin over Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett had a 70, Ric Flair had a 78, Dustin had a 57, DDP is 76. So Dustin being really the weak link there. Here we go. And Dustin sustaining a swollen team elbow. Overall, our first Nitro back gave us a 62. Okay. I'm fine with that. I think that is a good first rating. Now let's see how this show did. Okay, so let's head back in. We're heading back in, and we did a little bit of we did a little bit of a shot at WWE. So far, it looks to have paid off. Will help gain us a little bit of momentum. I'm gonna really get rid of drug test fees. We have a 0.31 rating, and Dustin is injured. So obviously, we're not gonna beat WWF or anything like that. But I'm hoping to put on some good shows, at least. I think that is at least going to be my goal, to at least put on some good shows. They completely busted our with an 87. We got a 62. And we got Kurt Hennig. Where is medical? Actually, no, I don't want medical. Alright, so our backstage is still 15. Our backstage rating is going to be our main killer. If anything is going to kill us, it's our backstage rating. And that's something that we're really going to have to work on for the next couple of episodes. Something that we're really going to have to work on. Drug tests. We're going to not do them. We're going to stop doing drug tests. I think temporarily that will help us backstage. And I think that will help the morale. So we're going to stop doing drug tests, and I think that's all for this episode. I just wanted to book the first episodes of Nitro. I wanted to book Big Bang in the first episode of Nitro for this first episode. Next episode, we'll be doing the next two Nitros. We'll be doing the next two Nitros. We're building up to the Great American Bash to see how well we can do on that. But until next time, everybody, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. P1 signing off.